It's Sister Wives. It's actually season 12, which I know makes no sense if you watch my videos and look at the order of things, but it is season 12. I looked it up on TLC, and I guess Netflix combined them, and I went off of Netflix, and then last season I went over Wikipedia, which combines them. So they said it was like season 5. So I've done the best I can. They're all in order if you like watch them, if you go to my video order. But I'm sorry, it's all straight. So it's season 12, episode 1 and 2, Meri moving part A and B. So we meet Tony's family. His family's Catholic. He's LDS. He's kind of annoying. Sorry, Tony. I found you a little annoying and a show off and kind of a chip off the old Cody block.
And maybe not even kinda.
Yeah, anyway, and then Christine was like, oh, they're going to be so mad at me because I wasn't super excited. And you're like, but they had been dating for 5 months when they announced they were going to get married. They're going to get married right away. And I actually, someone on Twitter said that they've already been married for like a year. Like they got married and then they're doing the wedding for show. I don't know if that's true. I don't particularly care. If we get into the like what really happened versus the show, there's only so much I can care about. And I don't even care about this. So every time I watch the show, I'm reminded how much I dislike Cody. So there you go. Still unlikable. Still makes it all about him. Sits around with Tony about how I have all these wives, I don't have to do any work. And ha ha ha. Of course that's not why. And then of course everyone is watching is like, oh yeah, that's exactly why. So he can be the center of everyone's world, and it's so annoying. And then we go to Meri's bed and breakfast. She's there with Christine, Annie, Christine's mom, Annie. It's this old house. She wants it back in the family. And frankly, my first thought is let her have it. Like, for goodness sake. So if you've watched any of the recaps, if you go way back, I'm not a big Meri fan. She used to drive me nuts. She was the first wife. I felt like she kind of bullied everyone around. She dragged Rabbit into the family, and then it was the two of them versus Janelle and Christine. But what I finally decided is that it wasn't so much that I dislike Meri, or even Robin, although I do dislike Robin. It's that I disliked that they were like mean girls. They were kind of bullies, and they bullied around the other women. They were always like, well, this is how it's going to be. And I disliked that. Well, no longer is Meri in that. She's now, Robin's at the top of the heap, Meri's at the bottom. And so I dislike Robin for the same reason, which is like, she kind of, you know, oh, this is how the family is. This is what we have to do. And I feel like going, Robin, you just showed up, and it's clear that Cody had a midlife crisis, and instead of running off, which I certainly don't condone, instead he got a new wife and made her the new favorite and restructured the whole family so that she's in charge. And that's just sad. I mean, who wants that lifestyle? You said.
Well, it's good. It's good she's around to boss everybody around. Like she knows what's going on and been in the whole family the whole time. And so, she's twice the woman she used to be. So
Meri is in this big empty house all alone. Now, admittedly, she really pushed that she had to have this huge house, but she lives in this house all alone. I'm not sure if Mariah lives with her. It looks like Mariah does live with her again, but Mariah clearly hates her. Like, hates her. She walks in the middle of her and Robin talking, and she's like, Mom. And I just feel like going, okay, you can at least try to hide it for the cameras, or like walk in and be like, oh, sorry, and walk out. Like, you don't want to be on camera, I totally respect that. But don't like walk in and be like, oh, why was he want to bed and breakfast? That's so lame. You should stay in this house all alone. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, I think they're eventually, I feel bad for Meri because, yeah, I do not condone her looking outside of her marriage, but at the same time, I think this is the exact reason why these polygamy, it's like an uneven power, and anyway. So that was the whole first thing, the fact that now that Mariah's over 18, I didn't say anything when she was under 18, and you can go back, but now I can, which is that she's clearly spoiled out of her mind, and she's taking it all out on her mom. Anyway, so then part 2 is all about McKelty and Tony's wedding. Speaking of being spoiled, so this is my opinion on weddings. This is true for the wedding that John and I had, which is that if your parents are paying for it, that's what we would do this time. We would just elope. My parents, I didn't know this, but my parents actually, I thought they made a joke, but they had said you could have this money and you can elope. And I would have done that. I loved our wedding. It was beautiful. But man, is it a huge pain in the butt. Anyway, they're paying for this wedding, or TLC is. We don't really know. And they like want to invite 400 people, which is an enormous wedding, and then they have all these weird special requests. Like, it's not just enough to, you know, when you go to these places, they offer you a menu, and they say, these are our options. This is what we know how to cook. And they like want custom, you know, it just drives me nuts because it's like, you want to have a taco truck? Fine, rent a taco truck. Your sister had a custom taco truck, but they didn't rent a location that has built-in catering and then be like,
Right.
we want all this stuff. And then when her dad's like 400 people, she's like, oh, my father. It's like, he's, you know, like, I very seldom do I come to Cody's defense, but that's pretty outrageous. Although we don't know, they might have already known and been like, oh, for the camera, we're gonna make a big deal about how you didn't tell us. I don't know. I'm over this wedding already. Hasn't even started, I'm already over it. Which is a shame, because I usually like the kids more, but McKelty's more so Tony, is pushing my buttons in a big way. But McKelty too, like, oh, Dad. And he makes inappropriate jokes, and it feels like a 15-year-old boy is planning a wedding. And he's like, I'm gonna have pinatas, and I'm gonna have taco trucks, but we're gonna have it at a golf course or a country club. And I have no problem with taco trucks. Like I said, his sister had taco trucks. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love food trucks. It's just, you don't normally, like, you rent a location without catering.
The venue's still gonna get their money.
Yeah, the venue's like, yeah, we'll put together a custom menu for $50 a plate. You're gonna spend $50 a person to give them tacos for a taco truck. The taco truck's probably like, we'll do it for 40, we'll do it for 30, 20, like, anyway.
You're gonna have 10 each
Anyway.
person, because you know everybody.
And then they go over to talk about Meri about this house, and it's like, oh, well, she'll be away from us. We already know from last season that her and Cody aren't sleeping together and haven't for years, right? I feel like they share that they basically were husband and wife in name only, and so I kind of feel like, I don't know, like, it really, really bothers me. Like I said, I've never been a big Meri fan. I think she's spoiled. I remember when she wanted that house and she had to have all these big upgrades, and Mariah was only like 17, I think, and I remember thinking she was so spoiled, and I think that she's bossy to Janelle, and so I am not naturally a big Meri fan. So when I say that I really resent how they treat her, that's coming from a pretty objective place. Now, I understand Janelle's concerns, because Janelle just is like, I really want to support you, I think it'd be a great thing, I just need to see the numbers. And that's Janelle across the board. But this is where I get angry. I'm like, I don't want to hear with your sister wives, go back and watch the season where Robin decides that she wants to do jewelry, and everyone else is like, jewelry? I'm not really that interested. And Cody's like, well, Robin's into it, so it's a great idea. And they have not.
And that's when she was half the lady she used to be.
And you know, and he wasn't, and then he's like, we're not going to have any more children. And then Robin's popping him out left and right. I don't care. I don't really care if they have more kids or not. But it's always bothered me that they decided as a family we weren't going to have any more kids, except Robin.
Well, he's got to be about ready to bring a new one to the fold now anytime, right?
That would serve Robin right, as if he got. I mean, I'm not.
What's going on?
It would serve her right. So there you go. And then she'd be like, oh, maybe it does feel kind of awful when someone new comes in the family.
And tells you how those families run.
Anyway, she's been there for quite a few years, though, at this point. 6 years? At least.
It's time for a replacement.
Anyway. Oh, gosh. So listening to Cody, well, I don't know about this. She's going to be so far away. It's like, yeah, you know what? She's sitting empty, has no kids. She has broken relationships with everyone around her. Her daughter hates her, so I guess she does have a kid, but not a nice one. I know that Mariah is going through some stuff, but it doesn't, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, and she's an opportunity. She'll have Christine's mom there to sort of chaperone her. So, you know, she's not there like hooking up with some guy. Let her go. And then another thing is, none of you work. You all live off your TLC money. So I kind of feel like this whole, like, she might actually.
Well, some of them might work.
Janelle was going to do real estate, and then Cody, and they have the sister wives closet, but we know it's not making money because they're looking for investors. And if you can't sell some, it's very expensive jewelry if I've looked at it, and it's all like
free advert.
with the free advert. And it's like stuff that non-polygamists wouldn't use. It's like, talk about a niche marketing. Like, geez, oh Pete. Anyway, that's the first 2 episodes. I'm already all worked up. So, it looks like it's going to be an incredibly boring season, as always. Oh, but here's something that you can comment on. There's a new show that you missed the commercial for because you're in the bathroom, called Finding a Sister Wife. And it's 5...
Can we go on it?
3 couples. Can we get a wife and they can watch the baby and I can go...
And do the laundry.
And do the laundry. Is that how that
Clean
works?
the house.
I don't know. I might be a pretty good fusion. But there's a show. They have 3 families looking for sister wives, which and it premieres next week. So I guess you could ask since we've watched and reviewed every polygamous show that's been on TLC. Let us know in the comments if you think we should review that one. And hit us up in the comments and tell us your thoughts.
What could go wrong?